So Dr. Stone dropped early this month, and ever since the manga's been published in Shonen Jump, there's been a lot of buzz and positive commentary surrounding the series. But now that it's been adapted to the anime, the hype is at an all-time high. So today we're gonna hop aboard the hype train and we're gonna see what Dr. Stone is all about. I'm really interested to see what the show is going to do and what it has to offer, mainly because it's a new entry to the new Shonen Jump that we've been getting recently, along with other series like Boku no Hero Academia, Black Clover, and The Promised Neverland. So I'm really anxious and interested to see what the show does differently from its predecessors, not just in Shonen Jump, but in the shonen category as a whole. So I'm going to watch Dr. Stone from the very first time, get nice and comfortable, and I'm going to be back and tell you guys, is Dr. Stone so far worth the hype? Let's get to it. So before I answer the question in the title of the video, I just want to share my overall thoughts on the series so far. So the concept is captivating and fresh. Basically, the entirety of humanity is petrified and put into stone randomly one day. Our protagonists are able to break free thousands of years in the future, and we begin to question how will they cope in this new world that they've awoken to, and will they be able to save humanity? How will they save humanity? Really short, simple, straight to the point, and it pops out. Something that stuck out to me regarding this though was the pacing. The show really approached this kind of fast, and I was expecting something a little bit slower. When the first 5 minutes of the episode, basically everything just happens. It's like, oh shit, planes are flying, people are dying. I was expecting this to be approached kind of slower, just so you can get a little bit more invested into the series, but everything just hits the fan really quickly. And at first this kind of threw me off, but later in the episode, Senku says something that really stands out to me. He says that basically him and Taiju are the Adam and Eve of humanity. Pause. And then it really became clear to me that the show isn't really just about the downfall of humanity, rather it's new beginnings at the hands of our protagonist. The art style is smooth and easy on the eyes. I like how it goes from dramatic to lighthearted, just like the tone of the story. In that regards, the art style complements the story really well. There's a lot of sciencey talk in the show, but it adds a nice touch to the story while also blending in really well with the theme of building civilization back literally from scratch. It was really fun seeing all the building that Taiju and Senku do. It really amps you up to see the contraptions that they make, and it leaves you eager to see what they'll make in the future. Speaking of these two, I really like the dynamic between these two characters. It's nice to see characters that are complete opposites of each other be able to work so well with each other and make such a great team. I also like how highly Senku holds Taiju. During the first episode, in the first scene, Taiju walks into the classroom basically shouting that he's finally gonna confess to the girl that he's been wet dreaming about for like a good 5 years. And Senku says that he has a love potion that he'll give to him, and he gives it to Taiju, and Taiju basically just throws it away and like, nah, that's not me. And then it's later revealed that it's gasoline, and Senku replies that that's an option that he knows Taiju won't take. And that's a really good job of showcasing Senku's faith and respect for Taiju that we see in later episodes, and I'm sure that we'll see later in the future. I'm really liking Senku so far as a character. Senku is literally the smartest person on the face of the planet right now, and that is not an exaggeration. And although he says some slight remarks, he's not condescending, and he's not the type of person to take a foe lightly. An example of this is when he initially says that there's 4 uses to calcium carbonate, but then he realizes that he can't really trust Tsukasa so far, so he just says that there's 3 because the 4th reason was probably in regards to weapons, and you wouldn't want someone that you don't trust having that information. All around though, Senku is a good, admirable character. I really want to know his background. It seems like the way he's carrying himself so far may just be a little bit of a front, and it seems like he may have more of an emotional background with some of the few flashbacks we see in the show and in the opening. As for Taiju just seems to me like the run-of-the-mill shonen character, you know, willpower, Nakama power, all that jazz. even though I'm not too intrigued by him as a character, given to what we see in the short face-off with Tsukasa, I can tell that he's gonna have some epic moments in the show. And now for Tsukasa. Boy, I'm really liking Tsukasa as a villain as of now. I also like his motive for being an antagonist. He's not just a villain just to be a villain, and his reasoning is thought-inducing. It's not black and white, just flat out he's evil or he's good. It's a little bit in the gray area. I wasn't really surprised by him turning out to be a villain. I mean, look at what he's wearing. Look at the way he's walking in the opening. You could just tell from the gate this boy's a villain. Even though Tsukasa is a villain, he still has some honorable traits to him. An example is when he kills the lion with one goddamn punch, by the way. He says he's not going to put it to waste, and he seems really sentimental about the situation. And later along, you even see him wearing the lion's pelt around him. Another thing that stuck out to me was shortly after Tsukasa is revived, he says to Senku and Taiju that he promises that they never had to worry about being in danger again. And I really hope that comes into play in the future of the story. Just him making that promise says a lot about his character. And if he keeps that promise and it plays into the story in the future, it even says more about that character. One gripe and one problem I have with both the story and Tsukasa is the rate that Tsukasa is solving these problems he's being faced with. Within minutes, Tsukasa pinpoints the exact location of where the group is, and it's really anticlimactic. If the story keeps on progressing like this, I could definitely see it becoming less suspenseful and entertaining. So now to answer the question in the title of the video, is Dr. Stone so far worth the hype? Yeah. The story and concept are a fresh entry into shonen. Tsukasa and Senku piqued my interest, and I'm already invested into them as characters. I want to learn more about them, and I want to learn more about the reasoning and why they do what they do. And it's only been a couple of episodes, but these episodes have been of quality and they show a lot of potential. I feel as more characters are added into the story will be more compelling and more interesting to watch. And if you're into tactics and strategy in anime, this is definitely up your alley. But if you're more of a battle shonen type of person, this may not be exactly what's for you, but it's definitely worth the watch. So those are my thoughts on Dr. Stone. So far, I think it's worth the hype, and I could definitely see why it's been hyped so much. If you liked the video, make sure to drop a like. If you share similar or different views than me, drop them in the comment section below. Always nice to hear your opinions. And if you want to see more videos like this from me, make sure to subscribe. And until the next video, see ya. Hey.